Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, call it in order. Make a motion to approve the agenda. If there's any changes.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
I
Motion passed.
will make a motion to approve the minutes for May 7th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Please, attend please.
Had an emergency conservation board meeting yesterday. Noah Robb put in his resignation. His last day will be May 23rd. He's going to the federal conservation system just down the road. He wasn't looking to leave, but this is more in line of what he wants to do. And he saw it as an opportunity to do more in the conservation side of
Wish you luck.
the habitat. Yes, I got to know him, didn't know him real well, but I got to know him over the last few months and I was very impressed with him. I think he'll do a great job for him. So we talked about replacements. They're going to put an ad in, the board's going to put an ad in and take some applications for a couple of weeks and see what happens. It's kind of a rough time of year for someone to leave because summer is an important part of conservation, but they'll figure it out. It doesn't help that the director's gonna have a baby here in the next week or two, so it all kind of hit all at the same time. But they will manage. Yeah. The other things that were on the agenda, they approved a new deck at Chickapin Bluffs, so they're going to get that moving forward. And they approved installing gutters on the new maintenance red building. Apparently it's water's running off in the road next to the building, so they're going to get that moving forward as well. While I was out there, I'm going to hand that down to Brad. There's a heater, fire alarm problem in the closet of the conservation that's throwing the fire alarm system out of whack, and that needs to be repaired. So I assume that comes out of the complex
Yes.
repair budget. So if someone would make that call, I told them I would hand it down to you and.
Yeah, I'll give him a call.
Okay, so we can get that done.
Oh, I just
Have a public health meeting this afternoon at 5:30, so. There's another person that has resigned, so we're gonna have to discuss. When and how we're gonna replace that one. That'll be today. That's it.
Okay, I had a Russ meeting in Mount Pleasant. It's just pretty much business as usual there.
Anything else?
No. Did we ever look at the window in the judge's chamber?
I have not gotten to that point. We had a major catastrophe yesterday with glue running off the roof.
I see.
Which wasn't glue, it was pollen from the pine trees next door. That was washing off the roof, so. That was,
Everybody ought to be sneezing and.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty
Yeah,
thick.
it's thick enough when it washes out the gutters, it's all yellow. Yeah. But no, I will, that's on my list. I did talk to Geo. I did inspect the complex. If you guys haven't, all the trim is up. It looks really nice. They did a great job. And it's on our agenda here to approve that. So as far as I know, that is acceptable now. So
That, something, I just get mine, I got just a few things out there at the transfer station. Doing any work on that, gotta move the building and stuff like that, trying to do it this week if the rain. Whenever we get to it, I guess. Concrete's done, things look good. I'm trying to get steel lined over the wall. I'm still working on it this week. So on this, explain for everybody's on the same page. What's I hear these people leaving, and we do have a hiring freeze. We've got to, hear that out, because I don't think any of the department heads really understand if somebody leaves what we gotta do, because we made that hiring freeze, and that means nobody. And so we're got places coming in there, so we need to define it. I tried calling Paul yesterday and still got a call into him, haven't heard anything back, but we need to get that defined.
Well, it was my interpretation that if it was budgeted, that position was budgeted, that it gets refilled. It wouldn't be any different if 3 deputies leave. You're not gonna not put 3
Well,
deputies back.
secondary roads, they had it budgeted. And we did not allow them to, and they have nothing to do with our general. And we wouldn't let them hire, so we gotta get this
Okay.
scoped out, so we just need to have some discussion on it.
Okay.
We need to be uniform what we do, and we gotta let our department heads know and understand what we mean by that.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I wanted to get with Paul, but I knew we had that. We have a deputy that resigned. Now we have public health, and then we have conservation. And we're in the middle of a hiring freeze. We gotta get this out for everybody knows, so. I understand, we still gotta run, but we need to define it out.
Okay.
Can the seasonal people pick up the pace out at conservation?
Isn't his position a mandate?
Yeah, it's operational supervisor. It's not just a,
Mandatory, but
it's not a,
I don't know anything about it, so I'll keep my mouth
Yeah,
shut, but I
it's,
just thought
they-
that
they are-
he had to have, but maybe I don't.
But we need,
Good question.
we need to look at this stuff.
they're kind of freaky.
We got this order out there. We have a lot of openings coming up, so what's it mean?
By our payroll changes, yeah.
Well, there'll be a conversation today at the board meeting for public health. That discussion will be whether or not they fill it, or they don't fill it, or they wait to fill it, wait and see that. The position of the conservation is they would like to have
I get it.
that.
But we
With
can't
that
have
being
one
said, they're
do
not
that.
gonna hire an operations supervisor to fill it. They're gonna hire a tech at a lower rate
Okay.
to see if it all kind of blends and it works. If it works, then they'll eventually move that person into that position, but they're worried about throwing somebody in there and it not gelling.
Need to have somebody
Yeah.
that's got skills. of
Yeah, that's,
construction.
and we had one applicant, none applicants, 20 applicants, they have no idea.
Yeah.
Now, Jacob did say that on the website, my public space where they post all these jobs, there are a ton of jobs on there looking for people. So it's not like ours is gonna pop up and be the only one. Ours is in a bucket full of hundreds of other ones.
Well, I wanna get that,
Well, talk to Paul and
Yeah.
see what his recommendation
Yeah.
is, so
because we have a lot of things coming
I
up.
understand.
Public input.
We are currently in a lawsuit with Sam Wilson. And I'm not gonna ask a question that would affect any details or the outcome of the court case, but how much money have we spent on that so far?
That's not on the agenda, so we'd have to get back to you on that.
Would you get back to us on that for next meeting, so we
It's
know how
through
much money?
ISAC, so
We'll find out how much that
We
you,
haven't spent anything because, yeah, it's through our ISAC,
could you find out how much they've spent on that? So far,
sure.
okay. Thank you,
because they have so much legal time free. ISAC.
yeah, just find out how much we've spent on it.
Where's that at?
What?
Sam Wilson thing, what court is it?
You probably know
It's
more about it.
it's still being fought or still being,
He still has a case. We met with the attorney one time, so.
Something about September was.
There's something once about a jury trial in September, but
where's it stand at, what court, district, spring,
it was a district court for now.
it is in the district court now. And it hasn't been decided, Okay.
is still trying to get information and stuff like that. Like I said, they never really talked to any of us yet, so. Any other public input? Okay. Payroll changes I passed around.
I got a question on payroll changes.
Okay,
What does reevaluation of his existing job mean?
who's that through?
Roads?
He's being promoted to,
Moving up?
It's just check.
Right.
I didn't know what that meant.
Is that the one that moved up into the mechanic?
yeah, the mechanic supervisor.
Oh, is that Nate?
Yeah, break.
Okay.
He,
So it's got probationary period check mark, which I understand
Yeah.
that, and then reevaluation. So that's the one that's moving up. Okay,
he moved from a truck driver to a mechanic.
okay.
And from the junction shop to a Waffle.
Any other questions, payroll changes?
Bring it again.
Yeah, we need it. Hey, Dave. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. My turn.
You betcha.
I'm just coming to give you information on House File 674. It is cross-county titling. Right now, it's set up to do contiguous, which means any county that touches our county, they can come here and do a title. Now it's cross-county titling, so anybody can go to any county and do a title. You have to do your renewals in the county you live in. Electronic titles have to be done in the county that you live in. That I'm not as excited about. I know we'll get some people because we have people come from Muscatine County and Des Moines County because they like coming to us more. So we will gain people there. The thing that I'm excited about is as treasurers, we've been fighting to try and get our fees that we get increased for years because it never has been increased. And we got them to increase title fees in the past and up to current, we were getting $2.50 per title. We're now gonna get $12.50 per title. Liens, we got $6. We're now gonna get 16. And for our use tax, every use tax transaction, no matter what it was, we got $1. We're now gonna get $11. So in figuring, I took last year month's figures and we made $1,300 on those three things. And if we got what we were supposed to, I mean, what we'd get with the new, it's almost $9,000.
That's good.
So it's gonna amount to,
Yeah.
starting January 25 is when this will kick in. And it'll amount to around $98,000, just estimating from what we've gotten in the past.
So are the fee,
The fees are gonna go up.
that's what I was gonna say, because the state's not gonna.
Oh, gosh, no.
Let go their money.
No, they're gonna up the fees
fee
for each
price.
of those, yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna up the fees on the people, but we get all of the increase, the state gets none of it. So
What about the sales tax if you title it? or
that stays
Henry County?
5%,
But
that,
does that come back here if it's the Louisa County person titling in Henry County?
the use tax goes to the
State.
state. That tax and title fee will go to the county that it's done in.
I see.
So the people that come here, so I think that will work in our benefit as well, because we have people come from Johnson County. Because Johnson County is so huge, it takes forever to get through lines. We may have lines, but our lines aren't as long as Johnson County where they have to take a number and sit for an hour. You know, I mean, we have lines. It could cause us issues being down a person down the road if we get busier and busier, but I mean, it's a good problem to have in some aspect because it's gonna be more income for the
They're
county.
going the right way.
So I mean, I wanted to bring good news to you for once, so.
No, thanks for sharing.
Randy brought up a good point that's always bothered me on cars is. You buy a new car, you pay the sales tax, and then next week I sell that car to Randy and you pay the sales tax again.
And
The
you,
car has already been taxed.
and here's the argument I asked that question because I understand that.
Yeah.
Department of Revenue says it's not a sales tax, it's a road use tax. So
Mhm.
that's what they classify it as, so
Okay.
you're paying a use tax.
Well, when you see a contract, when you buy a new car, it says sales tax
Yeah,
on it.
it's not a sales tax, it's
Yeah,
actually a use
okay.
tax, is what the Department of Revenue calls it.
All
So,
right.
and they actually.
According to them, everything's a use
This
tax.
is true, and they actually call it on our titles now, fee for new registration, they don't even call it use tax.
That was interesting. How they-
Yeah, they've changed the wording on it, but yeah, so I can't argue that one.
I
on you.
know.
That's the department.
This is something beyond this room,
This-
but it's one thing that's always bugged me.
I think it bugs everybody, but, yeah. I'm just the middleman who gets punched when they ask those questions.
Not to change the subject, if you're done, I don't wanna hijack.
Nope, I'm done.
I had a phone call from an individual in Florida that's looking at buying the trailer court, Woodland. And, there's a lot that they're going through, but, this person. Huh?
Never looked at it.
Yeah, they've been up, and according to this company. They rescue. How do I say it nicely? Trailer parks in need of rescuing, and this one's pretty desperate, but they were gonna remove more than half of the trailers. And bring in new trailers and new mobile homes, so.
Good for them.
Yeah, and they're also talking about Paw Law too, so
Is this a reality show?
I know, right? Makeover, extreme makeover. So I'll be having a meeting with them later on next month. And one of the things they were asking for was city sewer and water. And I said, well, we better get everybody in a room here because Wapello wasn't real keen on pulling them into the county, but if you can write some kind of a contract that shows that you're gonna do what you're gonna do, they may be more apt to do that. So, maybe,
And if that's something you need me
Yeah.
to attend or something
Yeah.
to talk about removing
Yeah.
and putting mobile homes in, let me know.
well, and I think all that comes in with this zoning change, if we have to do a zoning change.
And if they want a list of all the mobile homes, I can print a list. of
But
that
I am
too.
not interested in making any changes until I see some sort of a contract from this
Yeah.
company that says, and a timeline of. You know, within 6 months, you're gonna see this, within another 2 months, you're gonna see this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the city of Wapello will be the same way,
Well,
so,
okay, That sounds good, though.
it's coming, I hope, we'll see. So,
sounds great.
yeah,
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
thank you.
Get that umbrella out.
I'm glad I brought it with me, really glad.
Thanks for that.
Yep.
Okay, guys, again,
No.
What are you looking for?
Morningside, I'm not sure.
Sure, I haven't seen that.
It's
Or Thomas Junction.
CJ,
They have Medicare and Medicaid contracts on the junction that you know of to collect.
yeah.
They do have.
Mhm.
And you mentioned that taking that 150,000, we never mentioned about any interest on that money that has been illegally loaned to them. But you talked about using the 59-cent tax that people voted on after they voted for it to go forward. I'm not sure how you could do that, use that money going forward, because I guess whether.
We haven't,
not, you
we haven't
do it.
discussed terms at this point. At this point, all it was enforcing the contract that was put in place a couple of years ago, but.
Was that with the city or was that with the Columbus ambulance?
It was the prior administration. I mean, obviously these two, not me, but that was signed and there was a contract that was
Not
signed.
all signed, was it?
Signed by this side, not
Right.
the other party.
Right.
But they accepted the money,
Yeah.
obviously, so, I
It
mean,
was a loan.
yeah. I don't,
I would
we
just
haven't gotten to that.
kick it
point.
down the road then.
I guess, I don't know.
They was gonna close service and they still have service.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's why it ought to be forgiven, in my opinion, and use your errors and omissions to recover that taxpayer money from your errors and omissions insurance.
Well, that might be a battle, but
Well, somebody's on the hook for it.
yeah. This looks different than previous months, don't it?
Yeah, that's why I didn't recognize it. It's totally different.
No. understand why it changed. I thought we were kind of in a little groove here where we were. Hmm. Okay. So is this still a cash basis on the front page? It isn't. It says budgeted estimate. The last month we had a cash basis, and this isn't cash basis, yeah. I don't understand why the cash.
Are they making any money? Can you share that?
Well, every month it changes. So last month we had a cash basis of which we were trying to look for. And now we've went back to a budgeted accrual basis. An accrual is kind of what you think you're gonna be at. It's all based on budgets, where cash is where you're actually at. And on the cash side, it showed I think last month they were like 20 grand to the good, something like that. Well, now we're going back to accrual, which shows $337 in the red. I wish we get on one thing and just stay with it.
But total budget, year-to-date budget, they're within budget. By this.
Well, I want to know where they're at right now. If they want to go and work on their budget, and let them use their budget as their guide, but I need to know where they're at. Not where they think they're gonna be, because we all know that never works out the way you want it to work out. So last month it showed 48,000. Well, hopefully this all gets sorted out here sometime soon.
Well, the back page, they have a little money in their checking account.
Well, I think ambulances, we all can agree, are kind of like public pools. You're never gonna make money at it, but it's something that you need, so.
What the last payment is, we're in that yellow.
Okay.
Look, that motion you.
Yeah, I went out and double checked the complex. The trim is on. They got it mechanically fastened. Not just glued up there. So it looks like to me that that roof job's done. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the final payment, which is $55,350 to Evolve.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, as part of discussion, we have a warranty, signed, sealed, everything, all paperwork's done,
25 years.
but we have all that.
Yes.
Yes, Lena has that.
Okay.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Let's see if Liz.
Sure, I see she's on there.
Be interesting to know what it costs to build that building, probably costs some money.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
70s.
Morning. So as Sean has already alerted you to, we do have an RN leaving our staff. And we are having a Board of Health meeting tonight, so we will be discussing what the plan going forward will be at that time. And I will update you guys as soon as I know. If there is some more clarification that needs to happen, that'd be really good if we could have that before the Board of Health meeting, but
It doesn't sound like we're gonna have that, so we're just
Yeah.
gonna have to run with it and do the best we can.
Right, so. I am presenting the annual report to the Board of Health tonight. I think I'm a little bit behind on that, as I told the board, but once that's approved, I also will be bringing that to you guys for our office. Let's see. We are onboarding with VaxCare today. That was approved by the Board of Health, and that is our, it's private vaccines company we are partnering with, where they do the billing and we give the vaccines. So then they purchase the vaccines. So it takes the risk off of us from purchasing those. And that was something we implemented with the budget cuts. So
Did they buy back our old vaccines?
that's in the process. So they will be. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we have our current stock.
Okay.
Yep. I've been working on submitting grants, just our usual annual grants. The local public health services grant and our immunization grant have been submitted for the year. And then getting some finalizing some reports that come with all of our other grants. You have to do year-end reports, so working on those. Last month, Robin and I took an N95 mask fit test class. So we are certified to fit test. So I don't know if that's a need in the county with any jobs, but we're also going to be offering that up to, we could do it for EMS. We can do it for our office. Anybody who needs fit testing for special masks like your N95s or higher. So that is something that we have available here.
Is that a yearly thing?
Mm-mm. No, once we're certified, we're certified.
Okay.
But we do have a good resource. We can contact the guy that did our training at any time if there's any concerns or anything that comes up. So, and then we have the kit to do it, obviously. Oh, I did have a question about the cleaning. So, our office had requested that we have cleaning services with Tracy once a month or maybe every other week for just our main high traffic areas. What's the process on or where that stands?
I never seen that request, so.
We, Leah, this is Selena.
Uh-huh.
Me and Brad are going to meet, and we just have not been able to.
Okay.
But please just contact me when you need stuff done, and I'll make sure Tracy is out there. He's usually supposed to be out there Mondays to do the sheriff side, and I know we've talked about this, and you guys have stepped up to the plate and done some of the work. So
yeah, we have been. I just didn't know. We had requested that, but I didn't know, so we've been doing it. It was just like, I don't want to do it if he's going to show up and then want to be ready to do it. So,
and I apologize. Me and Brad just haven't got together on making his schedule, but I'll just email me when you need to have something done, and I'll get Tracy out there for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder if it shouldn't just be a set schedule, like
Yeah,
the
that's
first Monday of the month or whatever, so they know. And
yeah.
Or
We'll
do you think it could go every month, or do you think it should be bi-weekly?
Monthly would be fine. I think at this point, that's about what we're doing ourselves. So, if there's we can spot things and
Yeah. I think it'd be easier to do it that way. Don't you? Yeah.
But you're needing like the floor swept, mop.
just the swept mop, like the high traffic areas, the main office, our hallway, conference room would be good.
Okay.
It seems like Tracy works better when he's got a regimented kind of a thing, so.
Yeah, I got a couple questions.
Sure.
Did you do an exit, talk with her yet, as what was the reasons for leaving and where's she going? I'd like to.
I've spoke to her briefly, but nothing formal.
Okay. Would you do a formal one? That way you kind of know why,
Sure.
she wasn't here very long, and that's what kind of Is it something that was done, we did, or
Okay.
just better opportunities, or?
Okay, yep, I can do that.
Please. That's it.
Oh, one other thing, and it's not a absolute necessary right now, but just to keep on the back burner, it's very dark at our doorway at night, and so on a rare occasions we do have to come out here if we get called or whatever to grab our stuff. So just be thinking about that, if there's a possibility of putting even a motion detection light or something that would go off if we were coming to the door. There is the big like security light out there, but right in our little corner of our doorway, it's pretty dark still.
Be able to change that security light, and the power company will do that to a spot that'll light the building up.
Yeah, that would be,
And that way we wouldn't have to do the wiring.
yeah, if it's possible. So
Yeah, it's very possible.
okay, that's all I have today.
Well, thank you so much.
Right.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. How's it
This
going, Dick?
one is good.
How's the new guy? We just looked at the payroll changes. How's the new guy moving from? When we got to mechanic, how's that going?
Yep, it's going well. He's been a great asset. His attitude is very good. A lot of the conflicts we had are gone. He's doing a good job. He's
Great.
Training up, and as part of my offering the job and getting the job, I said if you can get through 3 months of it well, we would advance you up to the top of the scale there on that.
Good
So
deal.
it's good.
Glad to hear that.
So, yep, it's, sometimes if, what I say here. Maybe if you had. Maybe even less training, right? But better personality, better attitude towards taking on new tasks. That is better than having a guy who's super well trained and even has a bad attitude.
Your outlook on life and
Yeah, I mean, if you're happy to have a job, you come to work and you're here to serve, right? That's a better thing than maybe knowing everything and not being able to
I read you.
be a team player, I guess. Is
I get it.
the thing there, so. We're good on that. So, Corey's been down the last week plus because they needed to redo their scale and all that. So we haven't been able to pull any rock, but been getting going on pipe replacements and some of those oddball jobs that we've been holding off on getting done. We got crowd scouts in who, I don't know if you guys know who they are, that they do a lot of our pipe lining for us. Up on G44X, all the pipes under the concrete pavement are metal. Which I don't know why they chose that at the time, but they are, and all of them are rotting. So this contractor comes in and they clean those out, they jet them out, and then they spray a line on the inside of it. And it does make the pipe a little bit smaller, which has bad effects, but these repair and lining the last 20 years or so. So I mean that's better than going in and digging up concrete and replacing. So that's kind of what's going on this week. Also has some great bridge approaches where sometimes the material gets out under and we get a bump at the bridge, so they come in and they mud jack it up and that's kind of what we got a contractor in working on that, and our guys go out with the excavator and do all the legwork and bring in water to them and then things like that. So that's kind of our task. In and out of the rain, of course, because we're getting a bunch of rain. Looks like a bunch of rain the rest of the day. River's up. It's not causing us any problems yet, but probably get over Cappy Russell before it's all done. And we're kind of keeping an eye on some problem areas, I guess, and things like that.
Is any of the failures causing the road deck problems? Like on 244X?
No, you know, G44X, for its age is in pretty decent shape. So nothing yet, that we're at the phase that once that pipe collapsed, it's gonna take some years, because you got concrete and then it moves and breaks it down, so.
I didn't know if you've seen any,
Nothing yet,
it's
but
one of the better concrete roads, as far as it's not.
yeah. So. Other than that, guys are starting to get mowing, you know, aim to have the pavements all mowed before, for Memorial Day. All that, so. Other than that, I don't know what else going on, so,
I see the pothole got fixed on K Avenue.
yeah. Yeah. Our guys are on tens now, so. Is what it is there, so.
When's the scale plan on being?
Well, they said tomorrow or Wednesday.
Screamer hauled out of it yesterday.
Okay, so
Must
We
be
had the first one over.
maybe it is done, so.
Good.
Yeah. Good, so.
Wet gravel's more expensive than dry gravel, so.
Yeah. On the margins, yes, but not that much, so.
Depends how much rain they got.
Yeah, so we're hoping to get our rock quantity hauled at the end of the month. So by the end of the month, in June, we're gonna do that little bridge repair on M Avenue and get moving on some of those things as well, so. Anything else going on, guys?
No, I was your meeting with the DOT last Friday. You had one, you said you were gonna have one,
No,
you were gonna talk about maybe getting that sign on the White Way.
yeah, I was off on Friday, I did talk to their inspector guy. And he said they're monitoring it, the county's free to put up whatever signs we want, so.
Yeah, but they're using that for the detour too, but,
It's not the official detour at the
well,
time.
that's true.
They-
Maybe keep them off of it then.
Good luck with that,
They go by my place too, and that's not the official, and I'm not complaining
Yeah.
about that.
I think all the 4,300 cars on the 92 kind of found other routes. And some were on 78, some were on the White Way, some were G28, some on 1222, so.
And that'll change a lot too when they go the next phase.
Yes.
To completely different.
Yes, when they do from Wheelies into town, the White Way is going to be the official detour, so,
And about the only one.
yeah, so.
92, it's gonna get repaired all the way to Grandview eventually.
No, all the way to the overpass there in Junction.
Okay.
I would say that Junction to the 92, but needs it as well.
Yeah.
That's a different.
There's no
concept.
shoulders there either.
Yeah, so. Progress, I guess.
Beach the curbs back in the 60s and 70s. Guys remember that?
Not remember those. but-
Remember the curbs?
I don't know.
I do.
You probably remember.
I remember the Saturdays, it's not a lot.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cindy, we're ready for you whenever you have a minute.
Is that the only app?
Thought there was another one,
One I said, have with me.
but that's not the.
Morning.
All right, phone and foot traffic from my office, 78 phone, 20 foot. And as far as the food pantry here in town, we had 45 households, 107 individuals. That's went up quite a bit. In 2023, we averaged 29 households, and so far we're averaging 35 households. So it's a decent jump. Mobile food pantry went off without any issues and will take place again on the 22nd of May. Attended several meetings, the normal ones, but also I thought I'd mention, I went to the underserved population preparedness planning for rural responders and volunteers. That was also with Brian, it was through FEMA, it was in Iowa City. But super helpful for just knowing what to do with those that are in need, which are many of my clients that I see on a regular basis. And we're in the midst of planning our GA retreat, our general assistance retreat for Iowa. They asked if I'd go ahead and head that up this year, so I am putting a committee together right now and hope to have that going sometime in early fiscal year 25. So fine, that's where we're at. Any questions?
I don't have any.
No?
Thank you so much.
Have they done the doors yet on the Bridge Center?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, she's going with a different company though, because that company was
very
just
good.
following through
Yeah.
stuff. So hopefully soon,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. If you need help, let me know.
All right.
Thank you.
That completes our agenda. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
For those of you who don't know, Tony Ernst will have a representative at 10 o'clock today at the Morning Sun Community Center.